What's up, YouTube fam? Thanks again for tuning in. I wanted to tell you more about my story. I'm not sure if you completely know what happened to me when I was younger and why I got into the bad credit situation that I was in. Now I have good credit. But if you don't know everything about what happened to me, stay tuned because I'll tell you my story. So, 17 years old, I enlist in the Army Reserve. Now, why at 17 would I enlist in the Army Reserve? Well, I was about to enter my senior year in high school. I had stopped playing basketball. I had been playing basketball pretty much all my whole time when I was in middle school and high school, and I had stopped. I kind of lost my way. I wasn't all that good at it in general. And I had a summer off, and my dad kind of sent some of my information to the recruiters at the time when I was living in New Mexico. And I got a call from a recruiter. I thought maybe it was a good idea for college, and so it was. It was pretty good college money. The problem was when I was no longer doing basketball, I found myself having a lot of time on my hands, and I started doing cross country. And I enjoyed running cross country, but my body was not built for cross country. I had been doing basketball, so I started doing varsity cross country. I should have been doing cross country when I was younger and building up that type of skill set and that type of body, and I wound up really messing up my knee. Originally, I had had some damage from playing basketball, messing up my knee and whatnot, but it really got exacerbated, right? It got even worse when I did cross country. So I kind of messed it up, kept running on it, was okay. Tried to do track later on in the year, was doing triple jump, really messed things up further. I thought it was my hamstring or shin splints. I never really got it looked at, but I knew I had to go to basic training, Army training. So I went to Army training, the pain got worse, it was very intense, and I wound up getting on a lot of these pain pills, Motrin. If anyone's in the military, has ever been in the military, knows you can get big 800 milligrams of Motrin prescribed to you from a physician. So I was taking that, was getting a lot of bloody noses from that, but I had to keep going, I had to keep pushing, made it through basic training. Then went to my communications school, was still taking anti-inflammatories, finally got home, got looked at by a doctor, needed knee surgery. Got my knee surgery, took a semester off from, took the rest of the year off from college. So I got basically a year deferment on my college because I was in the military, I needed my surgery, went to college, had a New Mexico lottery scholarship. Basically in New Mexico, they give you a scholarship if you meet certain criteria. The school system is state funded through the New Mexico lottery. So I had a scholarship that helped pay for tuition. I had the Army Reserve that helped pay for tuition, but I still had to pay for my books, my rent. At this point, my parents had split, they were divorced, they had moved away. There was no real home for me to live in. So I was living with roommates, and so I had to pay rent and had to pay for my food and miscellaneous things. And I wasn't living large or anything like that, but I found that student loans helped bridge the gap. Credit cards were good for books. I could live, I could eat, I could kind of rehabilitate my body after going through this surgery. Okay, so I'm going to college, I'm rehabilitating my body, I'm exercising, I'm doing better. I figured I'll probably get a job, right? I got a pretty cool gig at Best Buy. I thought Best Buy was great because it was pretty low impact. The job I had had before obviously was in the military, and the one before that was like bagging groceries, and that kind of was rough because I was on my feet the whole time. But Best Buy was cool. You know, you had your certain breaks and you're chilling, you're working and selling stuff. I liked it. The reason I say that all that is because I had this right knee problem all of a sudden, and I was really enjoying my job. And I remember I just started dating Jera, and I would get up and I would be in so much pain and I couldn't walk, and she was like, "You're not able to work. You're not able to do this job." And I was like, "No, this is really good." And went back and forth, and finally I had to quit the job because I was in so much pain and I didn't know what to do. I was living on the rest. I got more student loans and living on the rest of my credit cards, and so finally I went ahead and got my next knee surgery. I told my mother I was not feeling very well again, and I got another knee surgery, and yeah, that was tough too. So second knee surgery, left breast by, and I'm trying to remember the timeline precisely. I think it was my junior year of college, and I'd been studying acting at school, and still doing my Army Reserve unit stuff on the weekend, all the while, you know, still doing what I could do. And finally I get to a point where, like, look, I gotta get out to Los Angeles, I'm gonna be this actor, I'm gonna do these things, I've got to get a job, I gotta get back on my feet. So I found this really cool job my junior year in high school. I was working at a sushi restaurant, and it was paying pretty well, and I would just work weekends, and they were cool with that. And I worked weekends finally until my senior year. And my senior year I started having more pain again. Oh, here we go. More pain in my left hip this time, and I'm limping around serving tables, wondering what's going on. I go to a hip specialist, and sure enough, I ripped a bunch of cartilage in my hip. I need to get hip surgery. Okay, great. Well, I needed to save a bunch of money to get to Los Angeles. I worked all summer long. I was taking pain pills again, anti-inflammatories, anything I could. I got a cortisone shot in my hip, it felt really good for a period of time, but after a while it wears off, and I had to get my hip surgery about kind of towards the end of the summer, late in the summer probably. I want to say we got into Los Angeles late October, early November, so it was probably like August. I want to say late August, September-ish when I had my hip surgery, and then after that I got out of Albuquerque into Los Angeles. So you see, I had these surgeries that set me back. I couldn't really work, and I was living on credit cards, and I was living on my student loans, and I had a tough go of it. So not only do I know what it's like out there for you guys when you talk about having bad debts, but I know what it's like when you've had medical expenses and you've had medical problems and medical setbacks. And I talk to people about that, clients or whomever, talk to about that when I say, look, you know, sometimes when you're dealing in the medical field, you don't get timelines. You know, with credit repair, I try and tell people it's going to take X amount of time. And so just stick with it and you're going to get those results. Sometimes in the medical field, they don't know. They'll be like, well, we'll see how it goes, or maybe this time, or maybe that time. And it's all possible for you. You can change your financial future in a certain amount of time, where when I work with a client, I tell them, hey, we got you on this timeline, stick with it, right? So I want you to understand that there is a possibility for you to fix your credit, to heal, to have financial freedom. And my story is not uncommon. There are plenty of people out there. If you're watching this video and you're having issues with your health, or you're with your wealth, or your credit, or whatever, there's someone out there who's come through to the other side, like myself. And it's funny, I have some of my, I just noticed this because I'm packing up, but maybe in the corner you see my old uniform, newer, older uniform, because I started with the camo, the BDUs, those are the ACs. I started with the BDUs. I didn't have the OD greens. A lot of people have the just the olive drab stuff. I started with the BDUs and then got those later down the line. So you see, I am who I say I am, and I have done what I say that I do. So if you need credit repair, I can hook you up, right? You can go to WeWereFinancialGroup.com, have us do it professionally for you. Or if you want to do it yourself, 609creditrepair.com. Those are all excellent, valuable resources. Now, as you see here, this is the office. It was a bedroom. Now it's a home office. It's converted into an office. And it's kind of where I am all the time now. And if it wasn't for some of these setbacks, right? I remember being in front of a computer just like I am now, wondering what I was going to do with my leg up, icing my leg, or wondering why my body was failing. So long ago, if it wasn't for those setbacks, I wouldn't be in the unique position I'm in now, right? With a home office, talking to you, having 5,000 subscribers on YouTube, giving value back, learning this process, coming through to the other side and saying that you can do it too, and leading other people through and getting the results that we're getting. If I hadn't have gone through some of the financial setbacks like that, or whatever it is, whatever mistakes that I made, or whatever things that were put upon me that I didn't even make those mistakes, right? I mean, some of these things are flukes. These medical things are genetic things or whatever, the flukes. If I hadn't done that, I wouldn't be here today. So you want to think about that yourself, okay? You're coming through a hard, difficult time, maybe with a repossession or with your mortgage foreclosure or not being able to pay your credit cards or you're having a medical issue, whatever it is. Once you come through that thing, it's going to make you stronger. It's going to make you smarter, wealthier. You're going to be able to help other people. All right? 609creditrepair.com, weaverfinancialgroup.com. Hit me with email. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a like, a subscribe. Comments. I'm trying to get to my comments now. Guys, it's just really nice to have a forum to talk to people and help people and to tell my story. And I hope you enjoy it. And I hope that it provides some value in changing lives out there, right? We're just here to help one another. So, I'll see y'all on the other side.